Will Stork clinch it in 2 games, or will PJ be able to stop him here on this second map to force a 3rd map for the grand finals of StarCraft at the World Cyber Games 2007 in Seattle? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am DJ Week. Joining me is the Storm Observer Tasteless from GGL Wire, and we have got ourselves set for what could be the conclusion of the grand finals in StarCraft, or what could become an epic 3-game story to be told here, in which Korea is at risk of not getting that gold. But you know what? After seeing Stork's excellent play there in that Protoss versus Protoss matchup, cases we were talking about a little bit in between games, talking about what we saw there. And yes, PJ did get his shuttle out first, did get his levers out first, but it was that push from Stork that sort of made him not utilize that advantage right away. And Stork, just a very impressive play there with the Reaver drop and then finishing it off. And now we are moving maps. Tasteless, tell us a little bit about this one.
This is a really interesting map. Now, first thing to note right off the bat is that this is one of the maps in the Korean Pro Leagues. So Stork has definitely played on this map a lot. I bet he did not do that much practice on Paranoid Android in comparison to this one. But it's a really interesting map. Small entrance points in the middle, forcing units like Dragoons to not be able to walk through the middle. That means only Zealots can fit through like middle areas on the map. That really affects how the player plays. You have to be a really smart StarCraft player to be good on a map like this. And this is going to be a battle of 2 big brains here.
All right, well, we're going to get map 2 started in just a moment. Once again, China versus Korea here. PJ versus Stork in the grand finals of StarCraft. Put your hands together. It's map 2 in the StarCraft final at the World Cyber Games 2007. PJ from China taking on Stork from Korea. Stork looking to keep the tradition going. Every World Cyber Games has been won by a Korean in StarCraft, and Stork is looking to again repeat history.
This is a moment in history, Marcus. And again, I think this game is going to be a lot different from the one that we saw before. This is not a very rush-intensive map, or at least I don't believe it is. And, you know, again, PJ could come back. PJ did lose his first game against Savior and lost pretty badly, and then, you know, came back those next 2 games. So this is still neck and neck.
All right, we are getting started here. Once again, Protoss versus Protoss mirror match. Fans are excited for this one, and it looks like Stork will be in the gray, while his opponent PJ will be in the brown. That means that PJ will be spawning in the northeast position, and Stork will be spawning in the southwest position. Now, this is a 2-player spawn map, just like Paranoid Android. So the players will be doing some scouting, but they know exactly where their opponents have spawned.
Yeah, and that means that, you know, sometimes cheese openings are a little bit more effective on maps like this. You can, you know, hide a gateway and know exactly where your opponent's be, so you didn't hide that gateway in the wrong spot and look like a dumbass. So that could be a possibility. But then again, I did not see Probe sent out early, so it looks like it's going to be a pretty typical game. Putting the pylon over there by the ramp is going to put some gateways up there with that. It does not look like he's okay. Now that position of that pylon is put there, as I said again, to defend against man or pylon. As you can see, if someone tried to do a pylon block in that mineral line, it would be impossible. And I think he's going to use the gateway next to that to do another man or pylon block over there. You know, a defensive opening, to say the least.
All right, so we're just seeing the initial build orders. You're absolutely right. We have seen some. Wow.
They're good.
Tasteless, why aren't you chanting anything?
I don't know, man.
So here we do see the first gateway going up for PJ. Stork sending a probe out, and he will meet. We'll have some friends Well, they're not really friends right now, but they pass like two ships in the night, and they will send their probes down. We did see some pro work by both players in the last game. Part of that pro work for PJ was building a pylon in the mineral line. We got double gateway coming out once again. And for Stork, this will be the second game in a row where he's just going to put those up front and try to get some units out, I think, very quickly.
You know, these are the same builds we saw last time. PJ going with pylon, gateway, pylon, while Stork going with pylon, gateway, gateway, and then getting the pylon. So Stork's build is going to be a little bit more offensive. PJ seems to be more comfortable opening up with defensive openings. We also see the probe harassing, and that's going to be a little bit of an annoyance for his opponent. You know, he does that so that he pulls the probes off mining, and, you know, that can mess up his economy. We also see some probe harassment on the other side over here. Oh, got that probe also. Nice move there.
And the Zealot's immediately going to respond for PJ to try to get rid of this probe. As you can see, the probe being microed very, very well by Stork around the mineral line, forcing that Zealot to really do some work here. Zealot's going to decide to back off, and second gateway is now up for PJ. That Zealot looks like he's going to put himself right on the ramp, and enough Zealots get on there, that probe will be blocked in there. Probe gets a little bit more damage, and you can see that PJ took another probe off his line to try to get rid of that worker unit from Stork. So, you know, it's just amazing. It shows just how unbelievable StarCraft is that this simple unit right here can be that effective in the course of the game.
Oh, absolutely. There's so many things you can do with this game. This game is so complicated. I would have to say I think it is the most difficult game to play professionally and to play competitively. There's so many nuances and so many factors that you have to put in, that you have to master. So these guys are, without a doubt, geniuses. And it is just awesome to be here and watching them play. Both players moving their Zealots out now. It looks as though PJ might be going to block that ramp. No, he's going to be a little bit offensive up here. Perhaps going to apply some pressure, but it looks like there's already a block down here. Again, that small entrance point, only small units can fit through there. That is going to make it very difficult for Stork to go through. Now Stork swapping out for another Zealot, which might have more hit points.
And that's exactly what you were talking about earlier. It's like only that one Zealot was able to get through there. So it was like a forced one-on-one situation. And by microing him away, you know, both players very much aware that just putting two Zealots there and having them fight is not going to be effective overall. So as Tasteless said, he swapped them out with a Zealot with full shields and full health right there. And the players will just sort of like look at each other like with mean looks for
It's a staring contest right now.
Exactly.
Over there. Okay, now we also noticed both players are using very similar builds. I think this really shows that they both practiced this map a lot, tried a lot of different openings, and decided that, look, this is the best one to do. Again, both going for a fast Nexus. I think the real reason for that, because you generally don't see fast a Nexus that fast in Paralysis Cross, is due to the fact that Dragoons cannot fit through the middle of the map, so it would make a Dragoon rush very difficult. Nice strategies by both players. I also see one of PJ Zealot's going to try to sneak in here and see what his opponent has. It would be very good for him if he could get in there. But oh no, he did not. It was deflected. That Zealot will have to turn around, although PJ is now aware that his opponent is doing the same build that he is. I am not sure if Stork has actually been able to scout his opponent yet to see that fast Nexus. But then again, Stork is probably going over all the possible openings that his opponent could be going through right now and just trying to decide how to counter whatever that could be.
It's a nice move there by Stork, blocking off that ramp, not allowing that Zealot of PJ making it through there and seeing the main base. But you're right, I have not seen any forward scouting with the exception of that original probe that was just inside the base of PJ right there. Both players have expanded, and you know, what are the routes to take next, Tasteless?
First of all, I just want to say that I actually was incorrect. There is already a scouting probe inside of Stork's base. I didn't actually notice that. The brown on the mini-map was hard to see. But yes, that means that PJ is going to be is aware of what his opponent's doing and is responding accordingly. At this point in time, they're going to be getting their gas geysers. They're going to start checking into Dragoons. Now, they could go for the Robo Bay first. They could go for the Citadel first. But then again, when you have two gas geysers like that, since you expanded, you know, you have a lot of options. He did take out that scouting probe. And it's about time, too, because, you know, at this point in time, you do not want to have a scouting probe inside of your base. You do not want to let your opponent know what you're doing, because this is a strategy game, and you have to outsmart your opponent.
And we're going to see a probe from Stork go in there. He takes 2 hits from the Zealot. I believe he takes 3 to take him down, so he will safely be able to micro him away. And we're going to see that in just a second. As far as and here comes a forward movement there by Stork. I believe he's got probably about 8 or 9 Zealots there. He split them off briefly. It looked like a few went through the middle, and a few went through the left as well. He's going to meet them back up here. And what is he going to do with this?
It looks like he's going to be a little bit more offensive up here. He's decided he's got enough zealots. He looked at what his opponent has. He thinks, at this point in time, I may have a few more units. I could put some pressure on. PJ suddenly realizing he's going to have to organize himself. He's going to have to get prepared for this attack. He's going to have to micro perfectly right now. Stork having only zealots. PJ having a few dragoons. It's going to be down to micro. Can he control his zealots well enough? Here comes Stork zealots now. Going to try to close in on his opponent. Microing back very carefully. He has more zealots. He will take out most of PJ's zealots. It's going to come down to dragoon micro in just a little bit here, Marcus.
And it looks like the zealots and Storks are going to take out the zealots and PJ Moore coming in to help here, but the dragoons doing a good job taking these out. One did make it through the line and back into the base right now.
At this point in time, PJ completely deflected that rush.
Nice.
And the probe picking off that last zealot. He sent that one probe in there to do some harassment, the rest to draw his opponent's attention away. Nice moves by PJ. PJ definitely going to have a unit advantage and going to be a little bit ahead right now.
He took out, I think, probably about 7 or 8 zealots there. He did manage to get that one through. Now, I didn't see if he actually took out any probes or not, but you're pointing down to the pop right now.
Yeah, at this point in time, PJ, if you look at the boot, he's at 54 of 82. His opponent's at 47 of 74. So PJ is a little bit ahead right now economically. And I got to say, it's not looking good for Stork right now after making that what was basically a useless attack.
We have a shuttle out as well, a few more dragoons to back up that line, and about 4 zealots that survived that initial push there by Stork. When I saw that zealot actually making it into the main base of PJ, it looked like he was actually already very, very low. Again, I don't think he really interrupted or killed any probes. It was unclear. Did he do that because he knew he wasn't going to win that little clash there, so he decided to kind of go in and use the zealot to see what he could see?
Well, one thing is that even if he loses a lot of his army, if he picks off a few probes, he can get ahead economically. Scouting probe over here by PJ, not by PJ, by Stork, getting picked off once again. I also see a pylon placed at the far right. And he put that over there so that he could see if his opponent was going to expand there. Also note that I think PJ is getting Reavers. And that means he could be doing a Reaver push very soon. We're going to know when he leaves. Oh, he is leaving his base, actually. That means it might be PJ's turn to be offensive himself.
All right, well, we're going to see if PJ can make it work for his favor. You can see there a split army of dragoons and zealots heading out now. And down here, I'm not sure if they're going to actually show up, but it does look like there's something down in the very, very south. Not sure if it's an expansion, but it looks like that's where the army is heading. Either that's to reinforce or... Well, and here it is, there's a shuttle with them.
The Dragoons, that's the only way the Dragoons can get there. They have to take a long way. Okay, now here comes his offensive right now. These Reavers are going to be coming in here with these Dragoons and these shuttles. He's going to have to be prepared for this. Dark Templar coming out. I don't see an observer. We see the Chinese fans cheering him on right now. Excellent control over here by PJ, but Stork not using all of his Dragoons, making a little bit more of a blunder, and he does not want to lose that Reaver. He's got to pick it up, and he does.
But there is no scan here on the DT, so he will do some damage, and he will force PJ out of there. PJ now on the run with those Dragoons, but again, Stork making a little mistake too. He had 4 idle Dragoons just north of that battle, and that could have actually made a huge difference in that battle. It would have prevented PJ from doing as much damage as he actually did.
It looks like PJ, losing that Reaver, getting chased back into his base at this point in time. PJ's in a difficult position. He did not have an observer there. That Dark Templar was doing an unnecessary amount of damage. I still don't see an observer. But the Dark Templar, okay, there's the observer now, but he has not spotted that Dark Templar. He may try to sneak in there, but no. It is not looking good for that Dark Templar. Nice deflection.
DT taken out, and how much of a mistake was that not having an observer with that army?
It was a huge mistake. I think he wanted to be a little bit too offensive too quickly, and at this point in time, Stork is back in this game. He's got another advantage. PJ got a little bit behind by going for Reavers, and then the Reaver push turned out to be ineffective. He's going to end up getting Templars out later on. Templars are really good in Protoss late game. Looks like Stork's also decided that he's going to expand once again, and this game could turn out to be a macro one.
All right, well, there was a pylon down south at that southern expansion. It's now been taken out, and it looks like Stork is going to be moving into position. Stork's Zealots are going to meet up with this one here that was trying to block the ramp. Obviously, he's not going to have much luck. A lot more Dragoons starting to stack up here at the forward expansion of PJ right now. And it does look like we will have a mirrored expansion then for PJ as he goes for the northwest expansion that was currently not being occupied by anyone.
I also see a lot of Templar out here right now. Those are very strong in Protoss versus Protoss. Well, they're very strong in general because you can just, the Psionic Storm is so damaging and so devastating. It also looks like PJ is going to be coming up here right now. They may be meeting again, but Stork may have a high ground advantage right now. PJ microing back up to that cliff, forcing his opponent to go on the low ground. But look at how many units that Stork has right now. His macro may just be too good. He may have simply outproduced his opponent. Reaver now coming down. It looks like they're going to try to, oh my gosh, there's just so many units by Stork. A much heavier attack. Grabbing that Reaver, dropping it once again. This is a very, very difficult position right now for PJ. He is completely getting walked over. Reaver now going down. And it looks like, oh, but excuse me, PJ actually has a few more units than I expected, but Archons are quite good against Zealots. And that is bad news for the player PJ.
PJ now backing off with these two Dragoons. It looks like this push by Stork was successful. He did have a few Zealots get to take out there by the splash damage of the Reaver, but it looks like overall he was successful in that push. He's left, I think he had like 4 High Templars. He left there with 1. Of course, he's got the Archon out as well, and I mean, was that definitely a win for Stork right there?
Yeah, you know, they're both knocking each other's armies down, and, you know, he was only up by a little bit. But, well, you know, it's hard to say. This map is, well, actually, looking at the food count, excuse me, Korea is in a little bit of a lead right now. We also see some Zealots coming in here, going to do some harassment. And it looks like Stork is forcing PJ to draw his army up here. Meanwhile, there's another small army over here on the minimap coming up on that side. He may be trying to split his attention and attack him on 2 fronts.
That's exactly what it looks like is going to happen right here. Will he be ready for it? Once again, those Zealots in the northwest expansion going up while this attack is going to take place. And these probes are going to help take out these Zealots. I think that will be stopped, but there's still something else that PJ is going to have to worry about. He did stop that as northwest expansion, so nicely done by PJ. And I thought that Stork was actually going to push that army forward, but he has not yet done that. You know, a lot of times in StarCraft we do see you go for one and then you attack another, almost like a distraction maneuver. But that maybe Stork wasn't ready yet. He decided not to do it, but we did not see it right there. Stork, however, in the meantime, is mounting a very impressive army as compared to, I believe, what PJ has right now. And we haven't really seen, the Observer hasn't gone over what the army of PJ is right now. We're gonna see in just a moment, and there it is. You can see from the unit count, China 92, Korea 121, so definitely an army advantage here for Stork.
Yeah, and I also see him moving that army up towards the top left side of the map. He may be trying to put an offensive on over there. I also see a Nexus being created at the middle right. That's going to be, you know, more money coming in for... okay, here comes Stork's army now. Stork regrouping, now moving them forward. Meanwhile, Shuttle over here, PJ's going through his opponent's base. Here comes a Reaver drop over here in the middle of Stork's base, picking off a few probes. Stork's attention is diverted, although it does not look like PJ is going to be able to defend that expansion himself. Reaver now getting out safely, but probes not in good shape right now with all these Zealots, which could give them a very serious beatdown. Stork also positioning his army on that high ground so that when his opponent comes out to try to save that, he can flank him like he is right now.
Nice Stork going down, and Stork will control this area, possibly causing the loss of expansion for PJ. Will the Reaver drop in the backline be enough for the for PJ? I don't think so here, because I think he's going to lose this expansion because of that battle loss right there.
This is really bad right now for PJ. PJ is slowly getting pushed into a corner, and I don't know how he's going to get out of that corner. Dark Templar not going to come in here. Hopefully, for PJ's sake, Stork does not have an Observer, and it looks like he does not. The Dark Templar is going to try to pick away at what his opponent has. Reaver also back here, getting pulled back into the action. Going to shoot another Scarab. Going to get picked up before that Archon can even shoot it in. Dark Templars and Reavers right now actually saving PJ. He is going to lose that shuttle, though, and the Reaver will go down as well. That's not good for PJ. He won't be able to counter-harass.
Yeah, he's not got much of an army now to recover from, and PJ's going to send, or Stork's going to send his last remaining units. They're into this battle. He's going to pull them off now, and I don't think he did have an observer. That DT definitely doing some damage there. Finally, no, he's still in it right here. But this forward expansion is in trouble. He did lose his northwest expansion. Stork looking to make a final push here. And do you think this could be it, Tasteless?
This could be it. I mean, I don't see any way that PJ can recover from this. I mean, he just doesn't have the units. Even though Stork, for some reason, does not have observers, taking out these DTs, the multitude of units that Stork is throwing at him may not be enough. But look, he is starting to whittle that down a little bit with the DTs, but man, PJ better come up with something fast if he wants to stay in this game.
41 of 89. Korea definitely has a larger army. He's making a push. PJ says GG. And Korea keeps repeating history. They have won the gold once again in StarCraft. The pressure was on the shoulder of Stork, and he pulls it off. But China winning a very impressive silver medal in StarCraft after defeating Savior. But all the attention and all the congratulations goes to Stork. He wins the gold medal for Korea. Tasteless, final comments on that matchup.
Excellent game by Stork. He really proved that he is a better player at Protoss versus Protoss. Although I also got to say, good job for also keeping that medal for Korea. It was really up to him to keep that. Korea's never lost in StarCraft, and he proved once again that he can keep that for them. Third place is Germany with Mondragon, and second place is going to be PJ from China. So, excellent job. Not 3 Koreans in the finals, but still amazing play here. An amazing save by Korea.
China got second place silver medal here in StarCraft, but they still have the opportunity to grab the gold medal in Warcraft 3, where Sky will face Creo in just a few moments. But what an amazing set of games here. The first one definitely dominated by Stork. The second map, I gotta be honest with you, I thought that that this was a match of attrition. It was going back and forth. Stork, though, he kept with it. He made some very smart moves, and despite some other great moves by PJ, for example, sending that Reaver in, he took out quite a few probes in that back line, but Stork responded to that well, taking out his expansion and ultimately moving forward and consuming the base of PJ. Very impressive finals game here for StarCraft.
Oh, absolutely. And I got to say, that was a game where Stork really won completely with his build order and his strategy. It had not that much to do with his micromanagement or, even his macro management. He just made better decisions than his opponent.
And that will be the conclusion for StarCraft here at the World Cyber Games 2007. But guess what, guys? We still have a lot more gaming for you here today on the final day, including the Warcraft 3 finals, which will feature Sky from China and Creo, which Creo has just been surprising people, and Sky looking for his third win here at the World Cyber Games in a row, which is also sort of unheard of. But there he is, your champion for StarCraft, the gold medalist, Stork from Korea, keeping the dream alive. And once again, Korea dominating StarCraft for the 6th or 7th year in a row, Tasteless. Let's just talk about that for just a moment. Does it shock you? I mean, are you surprised, or is it just, no, that is the way
No, I'm not shocked at all. I mean, I got to say, Korea, until the rest of the world starts adopting esports like Korea does, Koreans are just going to be the best at StarCraft. StarCraft's, the most successful esport game in the world. There's the most money in it, and it's taken the most seriously, especially when you look at Korea. And these other players, they just don't have the kind of conditions to train in to possibly, come up with these kind of strategies to face these powerhouses.
Well, don't go far, folks. Coming up next year at the World Cyber Games main stage, Warcraft 3 finals, Creo versus Sky, coming up next.